Okay, guys, I'm back from traveling, and I'm looking forward to hearing about what you have for episode 4. But just remember one thing, no more of those shenanigans where you got behind my power desk last time.
My father's out of town, so guess what? That makes me in charge.
We're now female-owned and found. I'm in charge since Tom's out of town.
That ain't happening anymore. Okay, so why don't you just give me a very brief summary of what you're going to do for episodes 4.
I actually think you're going to love episode 4. It's called Keeping Up with the Joneses.
Keeping Up with the Joneses. What is that?
You know, keeping up with the Joneses is when people...
Well, maybe we should just show him instead. Like, keep it really brief.
I mean, we don't have anything prepared.
Oh, no. I got this.
Oh, my God. Camille! What is going on?
Are you having problems with paparazzi?
Well, I am, ever since Locked and Loaded became so huge, but that's another story. I'm going incognito.
I don't get it.
That's for the episode.
How about we just film this and you can watch it with everyone else and it'll make sense then?
Yeah, well, stay tuned.
From my father developing the first self-storage facility in the state of Virginia back in 1973 to becoming a trusted industry leader 4 decades later. Here at the Nicholson Companies, we've seen firsthand the changes and challenges in an industry now valued at over $40 billion. And with as many locations as corporate giants, Starbucks, McDonald's, and Subway combined. So now, with the help of God, Camille, and my son Edward, we're breaking industry stereotypes and sharing our knowledge, expertise, and yes, sometimes a little humor with our fellow self-storage operators to help you thrive in today's competitive self-storage industry. I'm Tom Nicholson, and this is Locked and Loaded.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Locked and Loaded.
That was so nice of you to dress up for us today. I was really enjoying that outfit earlier.
Well, there's no paparazzi in here, so I think I'm safe. We're on set.
I don't think there ever were.
There might be, you don't know.
Let's get to it.
Yeah. Today, guys, we're going to dive into an often overlooked element that is critical to your self-storage business, knowing your competition. You just can't stay in a bubble and pretend you're the only self-storage location your customers are checking out. You got to be proud of your facility's unique selling proposition. That's your why us factor. But you won't know what is unique to your location without knowing your competitors in and out.
And the last thing you want is have a customer leaving your facility and going to a competitor to go check out what their features are. You need to have a full understanding of what all of your competitors offer at their locations on the ground at your store so that you can secure that sale.
Exactly. And you should be very familiar with all the things your customers will be comparing. Everything from prices, features, location, cleanliness, staff professionalism, and security. To do this, you need to put yourself in their shoes and shop the competition too. Visits to your competitors, physically and virtually, are key to getting to know them better. And each facility in your primary market area should be included. Speaking of which, market area. That sounds like something that Scott is probably better for. I think we should just toss it to Scott.
What a great idea.
Okay.
Sure, I can help you with that. Hey, if you want to check out your competitors around your store, the first thing you need to do is define your primary market area, then identify who's in it. In most cases, the best way to do this is to employ software or a service to calculate a drive time zone around your facility. This is how long it takes your customers in normal traffic conditions to reach your facility from any location within the stated drive time. Using the old geographic radius method is easier, but not nearly as precise. A drive time zone will take into account highway speed limits and geographic obstacles like interstate corridors or bodies of water. If you don't want to buy software and do this yourself, I'd recommend using a service like StoreTrack, as they can display the drive time zone as well as the radius method around your store, along with details about each of your competitors. The distance potential customers will drive to patronize a given location will vary somewhat. Customers in rural areas will typically accept a longer drive to get somewhere than city folk will. But a 10-minute zone is a pretty safe bet most of the time. There are some free options you can use to do this with as well, such as SMAPit and travel time. Once you've determined your market area, look at the competitors that fall in that range, starting with closest and most comparable. If you want to dive deeper into this or need links to these sites, check out the loaded notes on our website. Back to you guys.
Thanks a ton, Scott.
Yeah, thanks, Scott. Really appreciate that. Let's talk boots on the ground research, the physical visits. There's really going to be two ways to do this. First of which is the good old-fashioned way of walking through the door and introducing yourself as the manager of XYZ Storage down the street. The hope is that the other manager is also friendly, open to sharing information, and building a relationship. If so, this is a great time to ask for the stuff you can't find elsewhere, such as occupancy, how many units they have, and whether they plan to expand.
I mean, that all sounds good, but is it realistic? When I was a manager, and I know you were a manager too, I had a good working relationship with some of my competitors, but other ones just stonewalled me.
Yeah, I have had that experience sometimes too, but I think there's definitely some tips that we can give our viewers to overcome that and maintain a good relationship. First, you have to remember that in order to get information, you have to give information. Try relating with them by sharing something willingly. I would walk in and sometimes my starting point of conversation was, hey, I've seen an uptick in the amount of homeless people that are living in storage units. Are you seeing that also? Or, man, we've had a lot of interest in parking spaces, but we don't offer it. Do you guys have parking spaces? If so, what's the biggest size that you have to offer? Sometimes referrals of customers you just can't accommodate can really help break the ice, and then they'll also want to share information more readily if it helps them possibly gain business in the process.
You said there's another way to do it. What does that look like?
Well, the other one is a little controversial, but my favorite, the incognito method.
This is that dopey outfit from earlier. I gotcha.
Exactly. That's where we're weaving the incognito in. This way is going to be really just a one-shot deal because if the competitor manager knows you already, this just isn't going to work out very well. Many times, I would send an assistant manager who they don't know on a day that we have double coverage at our site. This also is great because you're going to be able to gain knowledge that the customers get from beyond the front desk.
Isn't this a little sneaky? I mean, it sounds straight up underhanded.
Maybe, but it's really the most effective means to get beyond the front office and see what customers see out on the property.
All right.
It's also the only way you'll be able to see the manager's in-person sales skills in action. If your facility already uses internal mystery shopping, which you absolutely should be for comparison, then you already know most of the basics on what you should be looking for. Here's some of the things that I look for. First, was the office even open? If not, did you have to wait a long time for someone to return? Did they greet you? How was their appearance? Did they offer you a tour? Now, when you're out on the tour, what should happen?
Right. This is where you go beyond features and you're looking stuff like maintenance, physical cleanliness, the kind of things that aren't immediately obvious from finding online, right?
Exactly. Good job. And see how they build value with features and benefits, if they're even mentioned at all. You want to see how great their sales game is. Did they create urgency and ask you to rent today? Finish up by telling them why you're going to not rent today and see if they attempt to overcome the objection. On the other hand, if you discover that they offer a feature that you don't have, you can then think about a way to overcome their advantage. Now, let's discuss the next type of visit you should make, a virtual visit. Start with a website. There you can see many key items like their rates and advertised specials, and you can get a sense of their unit mix and availability. You can also test how their online rental experience is and gain information on what kind of fees they charge at move-in.
Personally, I like using AI for some of these things. Our friends at StoragePug just the other day released a document that had some great scripts you can put into AI, and it makes this stuff all happen automatically.
Yeah, I saw that, and I really liked that. That was really good. And, it's a good idea to look on places like ChatGPT, Google, and Yelp to see where they rank. Check out their reputation, look at the reviews, the star ratings, and those customer uploaded photos are really helpful too.
You can utilize a company like StoreTrack to save you a ton of time. It takes a huge amount of your time if you're manually going on and checking your competitors' rates, but StoreTrack will do that automatically for you, and they can do it as frequently as daily.
Which is amazing. And here's the last step in your shopping journey, a phone shop. Simply call the competitor's phone number as a potential customer and test their phone sales skills.
Aren't most companies using a call center these days? I mean, obviously we use one, so are you even going to talk to a manager if you call?
Well, that's one of the first things you want to look at when you're doing this is, was the call even answered? And if so, was it answered by the on-site manager or was it answered by a call center agent? And how was the greeting? Was it just a hello, or did they greet you with their name and the company's name? Did they try to control the call and ask qualifying questions to help you determine the best solution for your storage needs? Did they create a visual description of the space, or just expect you to know what a 10 by 15 is? Then, of course, you want to see if they build value with features and benefits and give you pertinent site information like access hours and such. Pretty much all of these things that you should be doing on your own mystery phone shops if you do them. Ultimately, did they try to close the sale by getting you to rent over the phone or make an appointment to come view and rent the unit?
Yeah, and also it is critically important to verify that your customers know who they're talking to and they know your address, because I've seen it happen before. It's happened to me where you don't verify these things and they make a reservation to come see you, leave, and go to the competition because they didn't understand who they were calling.
That is such a good point. And remember, just like an in-person mystery shop, you're going to be scoring phone sales skills here. Did it feel like you actually want to rent from this company?
And as far as an objection, try mentioning your site and see how they overcome that.
Exactly, that's a good one too. And now that you've done the in-person visit, a phone shop, and an online audit, what's next?
I guess comparing them?
Exactly. You've got to gather all the information and see how you stack up. What are their strengths and weaknesses, and what are yours? What sets you apart? Is there anything that you can change to compete? Personally, I've often found the process of evaluating my competition to be eye-opening, and it really helps to sharpen my sales skills. I'll never forget one time shopping a competitor incognito, and my objection was, I need to ask my husband before committing to renting today, which is something that I always heard from my own customers, and I just never really had a solid way to tackle it because, honestly, I get it. You have to consult your partner. But in this case, the manager said, I totally understand. Why don't you just call him right now? That way you don't have to come back and you can get all this taken care of now. I was a little caught off guard. I was like, he's at work. They pushed a little bit more and they said, well, why don't you just try shooting him a text or give him a real quick call and see if he answers? Or if you're in today, you could go home and chat with him about it. You can always cancel within 2 days. I was pretty much blown away by these impressive sales skills. I copied it for the rest of my time as a manager going forward.
That's pretty good stuff. Another thing you can do is you should get all the features of your facility as well as your competitors. And we used to do it in a binder, but it'd probably make more sense to have it displayed in an e-format and make that available to your customers so that when they're having those objections, you can overcome them in your facility, in your office, and you don't lose the rental.
Love that tip, Ed. So bottom line here is you're doing yourself a major disservice if you don't know your competition in and out. And when you do, you'll be locked, loaded, and ready to win when it's your time to shine.
Thanks for spending time with us on Locked and Loaded again.
See you
It's been
next
great.
time.